Ladies and gentlemen, gather around as we witness the birth of a new Real Madrid legend, Kylian Mbappé, scorer of 43 goals, collector of shiny boots, and proud owner of absolutely zero team trophies. Yes, while Real Madrid watched Barcelona take La Liga and Arsenal end their Champions League dreams, Mbappé said, "I got this," and ran off with the Golden Boot like it was a Black Friday TV deal. This is the story of Mbappé's debut season. One man, one mission. Win everything except the things that matter to the club. 1. The goals. Enough to feed a small country. Kylian Mbappé scored 43 goals this season. That's more than some clubs manage in 31 in La Liga, 7 in the Champions League, and 5 in miscellaneous tournaments that even FIFA sometimes forgets exist. If goals were currency, Mbappé would be richer than Florentino Perez' ego. But instead of lifting silverware, he lifted Real Madrid's hopes, just long enough to drop them in the Champions League quarterfinals. And let's talk about efficiency. Mbappé's goal-scoring rate of 0.78 per game means he was basically a walking notification. Mbappé has scored again. Opposing defenders started doing pre-match prayers just to keep him under 2 goals. In fact, La Liga clubs started treating games against Madrid like damage control drills. Guys, if we keep him to 1 goal, we celebrate like we won. That's how dominant he was. Forget ghosting defenders. Mbappé straight up held seances and summoned goals from the afterlife. Mbappé's goals came in all forms: volleys, tap-ins, solo runs, and even that classic miss the penalty. Score the rebound combo. Very efficient. Very humble. He even scored in 12 of 20 La Liga away stadiums. That's more appearances than some Spanish fans have at work. 43 goals, 12 assists, and 10 Man of the Match awards. Meanwhile, the rest of the Madrid squad was putting in performances that screamed Europa League calling. At this rate, Mbappé doesn't play for Real Madrid. He plays despite them. Vinicius and Rodrigo were great sidekicks, but let's be honest, this was the Mbappé Show, Season 1 episode Please Get Me Some Help. 2. The awards. All the boots. None of the glory. Mbappé bagged the European Golden Boot, the Pichichi Trophy, and Best European Player at the 2024 Globe Soccer Awards. That's like winning Employee of the Year while your company goes bankrupt. He beat out Victor Gyökeres and Mohamed Salah, whose main mistake was not playing in La Liga, where the coefficient treats goals like gold bars. And let's be honest, Mbappé probably needed a U-Haul just to carry all his personal awards home. He's got more trophies than Real Madrid has. Team photos from this season. At this point, the man's mantelpiece is screaming for mercy. Meanwhile, the club museum staff are just standing around, polishing last year's Champions League trophy and pretending this season didn't happen. Mbappé's living proof you can be the MVP of a movie where the rest of the cast forgets their lines. The man outscored everyone with a calculator. La Liga goals count double. Portuguese League, 1.5. It's the Champions League of tax write-offs. His decisive brace against Real Sociedad was clutch for his personal stats. For the team, still trophyless. But at least he made history. 3rd Madridista to win the Golden Boot after Cristiano and Hugo Sanchez. The last Frenchman to do it was Thierry Henry. So naturally, the French press is already comparing Mbappé to Napoleon. Except this time, he's not losing in Russia. He's losing to Barcelona. He got the Pichichi too. 31 goals, 4 more than Lewandowski, which makes it even more awkward that Barcelona still won the league. Lewa said, "You can keep your trophy. I'll take the title." Mbappé's awards shelf is full. His team's trophy room? Let's just say they're renting it out for weddings now. 3. The El Clásico hat-trick, a masterpiece, in a loss. Ah yes, the Bernabeu El Clásico. Mbappé scored a hat-trick, and Real Madrid still lost 4-3. That's like getting 100% on your exam, and still failing the class because your group project was run by Dani Carvajal. Even Barcelona fans applauded. Respect, because there's nothing more satisfying than watching a rival shine and still lose. The man dropped a hat-trick at the Bernabeu and still walked off like the lead actor in a tragic play. Standing ovation, tears in the crowd, and 0 points. It's the kind of performance that makes highlight reels but not history books. Barcelona fans were torn. Do they boo him out of tradition or clap like he just gave a TED Talk on finishing? Meanwhile, Madrid fans started calling it the greatest hat-trick never to matter. Somewhere Mbappé's Ballon d'Or hopes were whispering, "Wrong match, buddy, wrong match." Mbappé's hat-trick was so good it temporarily paused Twitter beef. Even La Liga fan accounts agreed, he's him, but he needs them. If this were a movie, it'd be titled Mbappé, Goals Without Glory. Coming soon to a Netflix queue near you. Real Madrid conceded 4 at home. If defense wins championships, Madrid apparently went on strike. It's giving Ballon d'Or highlights reel, but with the soundtrack of Real Madrid fans crying softly in the background. This wasn't just a loss. It was a high-budget, slow-motion documentary of what happens when one man shows up to a group project alone. 4. The injuries. Real Madrid's favorite tradition. While Mbappé ran around like a cyborg, half the team was in rehab. Alaba, Militao, Camavinga. Real Madrid's injury list looked like a Marvel end credits scene. It got to the point where the club doctor was more visible than the right back. At one point, the Real Madrid bench looked less like a tactical lineup and more like a waiting room at an orthopedic clinic. You half expected the announcer to say, "Coming on for Madrid, Dr. House." Mbappé wasn't just leading the line. He was the attack, the midfield, the motivational speaker, and possibly the backup physio. Every time a teammate went down injured, you could see Mbappe's soul quietly exiting his body, thinking, "Am I supposed to score and apply ice packs now?" Ancelotti had to rotate so many youth players. The squad started looking like a Castilla reunion tour. Mbappé didn't just play 55 matches, he survived 55 matches, carrying Real Madrid while dodging tackles and bad midfield passes like it's Squid Game. If Real Madrid had a sponsor this season, it should have been icy hot. Jude Bellingham? Missed games? Vinicius? Inconsistent. The only thing consistent was Mbappé's "how do I carry this team's" look after every match. Honestly, give the man a chiropractor. His back must be screaming. He's spoiled. 5. The Ballon d'Or debate. Stats versus trophies. With 43 goals and the Golden Boot, Mbappé has a strong case for the 2025 Ballon d'Or until someone whispers the word trophies. Then it all comes crashing down like Arsenal in a title race. Even French pundits are confused. One minute they say he's a lock, the next they're shouting, "But Rodri won a treble." It's the age-old debate. Do you reward the guy who carried a dysfunctional team like Hercules dragging a boulder uphill, or the guy who had help and just didn't mess it up? Mbappé put up video game numbers while Madrid crumbled behind him, and people are still saying, "Yeah, but did he win anything?" That's like giving an Oscar to the best supporting actor just because the lead actor's movie flopped at the box office. Sometimes greatness is lonely, and so is Mbappé's trophy cabinet. Marca says Mbappé deserves it. ESPN says maybe. Jonathan Johnson says none. And Ballon d'Or voters say, wait, Arsenal beat Madrid? Barcelona's Lamine Yamal is 17 and already being mentioned in the same breath. Mbappé just sighed in French. The criteria seems to change yearly. Last year it was team trophies matter. This year, but look at those solo runs. Mbappé could walk on water, and someone would still say, yeah, but did he win La Liga? He might have to win the Club World Cup, the Euros, and maybe cure climate change just to secure that golden statue. 6. The future. Club World Cup or Club Clown Show? With Xabi Alonso now coaching Real Madrid and the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup coming up, Mbappé's next mission is clear. Turn solo stats into team glory, or at least win something you can put in a cabinet. Because at this rate he's the most decorated man in an empty room. The Club World Cup is now Mbappé's redemption arc, or depending on how it goes, a sequel to this season's tragic comedy. If he wins it, he's the hero who finally got back up. If not, we're looking at another episode of Kylian versus the World Trophyless Chronicles. You just know if things go south, Spanish media will write op-eds like, should Mbappé play goalkeeper too? And somewhere in the background, Xabi Alonso will be scribbling tactical notes that read, Step 1, pray. Club World Cup in the US? If Mbappé doesn't score 15 and win it, people will say, overrated. Xabi Alonso might just be the tactical wizard Mbappé needs, or just another guy who forgets Dani Ceballos exists. If Mbappé lifts that trophy, expect a full-on French Revolution in Madrid. If he doesn't, expect memes. Let's be honest, if Mbappé scores another 40 goals and still wins nothing, he's officially entering Harry Kane territory. Real Madrid fans are patient, until they're not. Next season, it's trophies or why did we let Haaland go again? Mbappé's future is bright, and also extremely heavy, because apparently he has to do everything. Closing thoughts. Ballon d'Or? Boot first, trophies later. So here's the recap. Mbappé scored goals like it was a cheat code. He broke records, won awards, got memes made in his honor, and still went trophyless. Is he a generational talent? Yes. A Ballon d'Or lock? Maybe. A one-man football machine in desperate need of backup? Absolutely. Drop your take in the comments. Should Mbappé win the Ballon d'Or despite Real Madrid's barren year? Or does this saga end like every Marvel Phase 4 film, flashy, fun, but ultimately unsatisfying? Smash that like button like Mbappé smashes through La Liga defenses. Subscribe for more football chaos, and remember, 43 goals can win you a boot but not always the crown. See you next time.